Hey, Coach Miller here with BTB Lax, and I'm in the studio, and I finally made some progress because I figured out how to get the iPad, get my stencil, my stylist here, and do some coaching while also having it on a video so I can show you right here on the board, see, where I'm like writing how this works. So I'm gonna be able to coach some good concepts and apply them on the whiteboard, and then later on take them onto the field and show you how it all ties together. All right, so what I want to talk about today is the 3-on-2 from behind the goal. This is a drill that I found online. I saw the Lemoyne coach coaching it up. He's an awesome coach. I never even heard him speak before, but it was great stuff, and I wanted to take some of the stuff that he was sharing and show it to you guys on this YouTube video. So basically, the 3-on-2 from behind the goal, from a broad perspective, has some cool things that you can do. First of all, you could do it in limited space. So if you're a program that's in the cold weather and you're going to be having those first, preseason practices in the gym, then this is the perfect you could do in confined space. So the other thing, it's also fast-paced so that you can get a lot of reps in, get your guys moving. Next up, when you're talking about off-ball defense in lacrosse, it's the majority of the defense that your team is going to play. The Lemoyne coach was talking about how he saw a stat that 84% of the defense played is off ball. So that means only remaining 16% is on ball. So you want to make sure that you're teaching your team how to move off ball, what the slide packages are, what the concepts are, where you want your feet, where you want your stick head, stuff like that, so that you can, in order to play better defense, and stop the other team from scoring. Moving on. So with this 3-on-2 drill specifically, there's some concepts that you should be teaching your players. Okay, so right here where we have D1 and D2, the defensive players, you see the dotted line there, that's the GLE. So basically what we're trying to do here is you want to be coaching your team to force low percentage shots. So low percentage shots are shots that are going to be from tough angles, okay? So anywhere in this area, like so. Once you get these shots from up here, those are easy scoring opportunities. The shooter has a big view of the net, so he's got a lot of options, makes it harder for the goalie to save those shots. Next up, this is a big coaching point that the Lemoyne coach was talking about. You want, as the D1 guy here, he's got the head of his stick and his feet. Both those things need to be above GLE, okay? Both those things need to be above GLE because that's where the shot is going to occur, so that's where you want him playing defense. As soon as he goes below GLE, then there's an opportunity the ball is going to be up above GLE with a pass or something, and then in that case, easy scoring opportunity. So you want him there to block any type of shot that might occur. Either his feet or his stick head is going to be guarding X1, and the alternate is going to be guarding X2. So if his feet here are guarding X1, then his stick is going to be guarding X2, okay? So you don't want to have your feet and your stick both guarding X1 because that leaves X2 kind of open because in this whole scenario, you're down a man anyway. Same concept holds true with D2. So his feet and his stick are either guarding X2 or X3, okay? So there's a good coaching point right there. So another thing to think about this. So say, and there could be instances when you're drilling your team where this is going to come up. So say, for instance, that D1's a very athletic guy, he's got great feet. So he might want to guard X1 with his feet and then just have a stick out guarding X2 because you know that his feet can make up for any type of movement that X1's going to make because he's a good athlete, he's got good feet. Whereas if he's maybe a little bit slower, you might have his stick out on X1 to give him that little bit more of a buffer, be on his hands a little bit more, and then in that case he'd have his feet kind of pointing towards X2 to be able to react to any sort of scenario that might happen there. Okay, the other big thing to think about here, you want to think about this situation as 2v1s. So basically D1 is going to be guarding X1 and X2, and D2 is going to be guarding X2 and X3. So that's a good concept to help you play better off-ball defense, okay? All right, here's another key point that you want to get across to your defense. You want them to dictate what's going on and not be in a reactive mode, okay? So a lot of times when defenses are in a reactive mode, it's because they're standing too tall, they're not in an athletic position, and they're not ready to move, okay? So here's an example. Say you have a 6'2" defenseman, okay? and that defenseman is moving around at that height, that's too tall. You basically want him to be like he's a 5'10" player. So he's in that crouched athletic stance, ready to move, ready to pounce, ready to get that recover slide, ready to do all those things. So as soon as you're seeing your defense too tall, you know that they're not in a dictating move and they're going to be reactive, and that's not good defense, especially when you're down a man. So you want to make sure when you're coaching this drill is to get these guys lower. Make sure that they're dictating what's going on with their feet and their stick. So then with this drill, you're just going to do a lot of scenarios where you're going to get a bunch of reps with 3-on-2. You're going to have these guys, D1's going to be basically guarding X1 and X2. So D2 is never going to have to worry about X1. He's not going to have to worry about him because it's 2v1s like we talked about. So here's just a drill that you could do in confined space, which is fast paced to get your team working on some of those off-ball concepts. This is a quick video, but I just wanted to get the system all organized in terms of how it's gonna work the whiteboard and stuff like that. So we're gonna do more of these going forward, but I wanted to get my feet wet first. All right, with that being said, if you guys are looking to do any individual training, I got my BTB LX Plus program right in the description of this video. You can just click that and start right away. Get yourself ready for lacrosse season. It's right around the corner. College teams are already starting to play as we speak. Here's Coach Miller. Talk to you soon.